we're talking about our first experiences with alcohol. That was a pretty fun one, right?
Oh yeah. We can talk about that.
Yeah, you want to get into that? How
Sure.
does that sound, Nate? Does that sound interesting?
I'm interested to hear these stories.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Pat, you had a pretty good one. I could go first if you wanted to, but
go ahead, and then I'll follow up.
This may not have been my exact first, but it was definitely my most memorable. I was in high school, and I you get those rumblings of people like drinking at parties and stuff, and how drinking is cool, and these are all the things they did when they were drunk. They drank a whole fifth of vodka.
Hell yeah!
Oh yeah, it's so cool. I'm like, man, well, this is what I got to do. So instead of like trying to do it with other people, my thought was like, oh, I should do this at home.
You just did this alone, dude?
I did this alone. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what the effects of this are. So what I did was we had a finished basement. My parents kept all their alcohol up, on the main floor. And, I'd go up there. They had like a, handle of vodka that they had for parties and stuff. It was up out of reach of a normal child. But of course, I'm gangly, slender man here, and I could go get it anytime I wanted to. I'd just reach up, grab some alcohol, pour myself a shot, and I just would take it, go back downstairs. And about 3 or 4 minutes later, I'd do the same thing. And, I probably did it. Looking back, I probably did like eight shots of vodka in this, pretty reasonably short amount of time.
Jesus.
And then went downstairs, and I think I got so hammered after a while that I ended up like passing out, but like vomiting onto the floor, like in front of me. And there was a period of time for like 10 years where I convinced my mom that I was vomiting because I had White Castle earlier that day. And it was just me vomiting up White Castle. I'm like, oh, that White Castle, can't have that. Sorry, Mom, can't have White Castle ever again. So that was it. And I told her, recently. So at some point she'll get to this episode, maybe. I don't know. And she knows the story. I did tell her, 4 or 5 years ago that this was, in fact, not White Castle. It was Pop-Up vodka or whatever they had. That was a weird one. I definitely, but it was, it's kind of like a whole, hey, I caught you smoking a cigarette. You got to smoke the whole carton thing. Where it's like, oh, I had all this vodka. I don't think I ever want to drink again. And I don't think I went through the entirety of high school drinking at that point. I think it was like, maybe I was a freshman or sophomore. I didn't drink again until college, I don't think. Maybe once or twice, but not much.
Did you ever brag about it though? Did you ever tell kids like, I drank 8 shots?
No, I don't think I did. No, I think I flashing back to high school, I think I always wanted to like look cool in front of certain groups of people, but this one, I like in hindsight, like after I did it, I was like, yeah, I don't think that was cool. Like I knew it immediately that what I did was like not the correct way to do it, but I also didn't want to do it anymore.
Oh man, that's awesome, man. That's so great that you just like when you heard the first time you heard about like alcoholics drinking by themselves, did it worry you? Were you like, oh Jesus, that's what I did?
Kinda.
You were just a kid testing the waters, and you were just like worried that you were gonna have to like go to AA. He's like, I could never drink again. I'm an alcoholic. Man, you know what's funny? It's like growing up when they're like, how many beers do you have a week? And you're like, oh, fucking, I don't know. And you're like in college, right? You're like 35. And they're like, what? And like their response is not like they're just like, what? Like when they give you that answer, you're like, how many do you drink? They're like, people normally have 10 beers a week. Like,
my chart doesn't go that high. I have a 25 to 30 category. Should I just bubble that in?
Right. It's like, come on, get out of here. You know that I'm in college, and if I can, I'm going to party 3 times a week. Look, that's not that much if you're drinking, 3 times a week. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Did you tell them it's like,
Relax.
listen, I'm a big guy.
Yeah.
You're a big
Look at
guy.
me. Look at me.
Fella.
I pee a lot. I'm fine.
Listen, I'm on the line. I'm on the line. I gotta
Yeah.
maintain my
One time
caloric
a
intake
coach-
here. I gotta stay
Oh my
strong.
God! One time a coach said to me, he goes, Pat, are you drinking a lot? And I was like, what? No. He was like, well, you're an lineman, so you're definitely drinking a lot. But I haven't heard your name from other people, so you must not be drinking too much, which is good. I'd like to keep it like that. And then he walked away.
Keep it up,
He
sport.
just-
Pat on the butt.
Yeah, he
35
just
beers
said-
a week.
He asked me if I was drinking a lot. I said not that much, and then he just was like, "Yeah, you are," but I haven't heard any problems, so it's fine. Just didn't take no for an answer. Fucking just also huge stereotype. O linemen are heavy drinkers. Also very true, but yeah, for sure. My first experience with alcohol was my mom feeding me hot toddies as just like medicinal, right? So like if you have like a sore throat, maybe like an upset stomach or something like that, she'd give you a hot toddy. And Max, remind me what's in a hot toddy. I know there's whiskey because when my mom made it for me, that's the only thing I could taste. It was just like she gave me a hot glass of whiskey, basically. I think there's lemon, right?
Mine was some sort of tea, like a soothing tea, no caffeine, lemon, honey, and whiskey.
And you serve it hot.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because it is a hot toddy.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
I would drink those and hate them. And I just like, that's
How
my first
old were you
experience.
again? You didn't say earlier how old you were. How old were you when you
I
first
gotta
had
believe
this hot
I
toddy?
was probably fifth grade or middle school.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. But I wasn't enjoying it. I didn't have fun. I hated the way it tasted. There was nothing like cool about it. Again, this was the way you'd think about it is like, you know how you have to like gargle with salt water when you have a sore throat? Have you guys ever had to do that? I hate
Yep.
gargling with salt water. It like makes me want to throw up. And that's how I felt about hot toddies. It was just like, yeah, I had to like build up the mental strength to like push through it. But yeah, that's my first experience with alcohol. Just hating it.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad we both had negative experiences in terms of interest. And now we both drink all the time, so that's good.
Yeah,
Classic American success story.
we really
Yeah,
overcame.
switches.
Yeah, overcame our problems and our differences.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, Nate, what about you?
Well, I'm trying to think here. So I feel like if drinking were like a lake, the way I approach, like it was lots of dipping my toes in. So it'd be like, hey, can I have a sip of that? Can I have a sip of that? You know, whether it was like from you know, every once in a while you try to convince an adult, or they come. Actually, there was some. I had a friend that had a bar mitzvah in the 7th grade. And I remember they had some champagne flutes or wine flutes out, and it was like Manischewitz. I don't know. What's the name of that one? I don't know. But anyways, I remember
Manischewitz, yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
sneaking a few of those and pounding a few of those on the way home, and then going back home But then I don't know if it worked. I don't know if they had any booze in them. I'm not sure. So then I just had to, it was a few hours until the reception fun after the bar mitzvahing service. I don't know what you call it. It was part where you got
It's
where you
the
have to sit
I
and
think it's
listen
right.
quietly
The
versus
bar
the part
mitzvah
where you
dance.
where you dance
the
around
bar
the
service. The bar
having
service.
Nagila
There
and
it is.
stuff. Yeah. Wow, I'm terrible. All right. Well, anyways, but then after that, it was just lots of. I thought I was never going to drink because I wanted to be a good athlete, and I wasn't. And so I was like, well, the only way for me to keep up with people is to, stay
Peak
away from
physical
all that.
form.
But
Yeah.
then I started, you dip your toe in. Let me get a taste of that. Let me get a taste of that. And that was mostly it for a while. And, there was a couple times where I took a good cannonball into the lake.